Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Today, I'm gonna do a video on uh, setup, care, and reviews on the stuff I have in here for my Veil Chameleon. Um, the information I give you is what I read online. Um, if you want to get really good information, go to chameleonforums.com. They have some excellent information and resources for you to know more about care and setup wise and everything that you need to know for chameleons because they uh, they are kind of easy, but you just gotta know what you're doing when you get these guys. So, but we'll go into the cage here. This is a Retro Breeze by ZoomEd. It's a 24 by 24 48 cage, and it is recommended that you do get um, a big cage. And I've seen a lot of people when they get chameleons that they get the 16 by 1630, and they have to eventually buy a bigger one. And so I feel it'd be best if you were going to get a chameleon to get the biggest one that they sell. And I know ZoomEd sells 24 by 24 48, is which, like I said, I have. So, but you want to have a screen cage when you get these guys because it does allow good airflow, front to back, side to side. Um, for the price of one of these cages, is about $100. Um, I know if you go to petmountain.com, they have some awesome deals on some cages. Not like the ZoomEd ones, but I know they have different kinds of cages that are screen and everything. I think they're more long, but I mean they are kind of tall, but they're not 48 inches like the Repto Breeze here. I know those are a little bit cheaper, but if you go to petmountain.com, uh, this size cage here is $94. But also, if you could go on Craigslist and see if somebody's selling one of these cages, you might be able to find it about $50. Or, I mean, if you got the time, you could go buy all like the screen, the aluminum panels here and everything like that. Um, and that'll cost you between 50 to 75 bucks. But I know it takes time to build it and everything. And when you get one of these cages, all you got to do is just put the sides and the top and everything together. So, but I mean, my review on this cage is that it is awesome. I plan on getting another one. I don't know if I'm going to get this size of a cage. I may, because getting ready to buy 2 Jackson Chameleons and hopefully breed them. So yeah. But like I said, the reviews are excellent on these cages. They're pretty durable, I will say. Um, and it does have a piece down here, or a door that you can open up and pull this white panel out to clean. So it's very easy to clean. Um, I know in the summertime you can take it outside and spray it down to hose, and then spray it with some antibacteria killer for to kill all the bacteria and everything. So, but I just wish one thing that they could have done is up here in the corner, either all four corners or whatnot. I'm sorry, boy. I didn't mean to scare you. Damn, chill out. He's really grumpy for some odd reason. But I wish they had corner pieces here um, that they already had installed for your misting system, so you don't have to drill holes and everything. But I know on Amazon and Miss King sells them, and they're like $7 or $8 a piece. So I mean, if you want two of them, you're looking at maybe about 14 to 15 bucks. So I just wish that they would do that. But also the other thing too want to talk about is when you have a Chameleon, you need special lighting. This is a I just looked the other day, and this is a 10.0 UVB bulb. So I'm gonna have to more than likely get a 5.0 UVB bulb. It is recommended that you change those, I want to say, every 6 months, because it does lose the UVB and the intense of it. So it is recommended that you do have 5.5 or 5.0 or something UVB light, something like that. And then the other light you need is a basking bulb, and this is a 75 watt basking bulb, and you need it to be about 6 to 8 inches from the light bulb to his basking spot, because these guys do like to bask after they're eating. It helps with their digestive system. So that needs to be about 6 to 8 inches. You want the temperature about, well, between 90 to 100, I read. Like I said, everybody has their own opinion, and I'm just giving you the information that I've read online and the research I've done. So it's 96 degrees right there, about right there, but as you get closer, it does get hotter. I know when you go past these metal bars right here, it gets to be like 110 degrees. So I mean, I think that's the hottest spot up there is 110. But right where he sits at and where his back comes up, it's like 98 degrees. So I mean, it's very perfect for him. So, and then the temperature you want in a cage between 80 to 90, and as you can see, I don't have any thermometers or humidity gauges or anything, because I took the time and monitored every foot of this cage temperature wise, and the coolest spot gets at night is 76 degrees, and that's way down here. And the reason why it gets that low, and only that low, is because I do have a portable heater down here that keeps the temperature constantly the same in here. Nothing changes, and it has been getting really cold up here in Indiana. So, and with this portable heater that I have, the temperature does not change. So, and then for the humidity, these guys love high humidity. You want it to be between 50 to 80% humidity. And as you can tell, I don't have a misting system, which I absolutely need to get to raise the humidity. But for some odd reason, it doesn't bother him, because there's some days the humidity is like 70%, and then the next day it's 20. And he's a little dark right now because in his territory, and he does get pretty pissed off when he comes into contact with me. I mean, there's some days, he's cool, but I would say 9 times out of 10, he doesn't want to be messed with. So, but to try to help with the humidity and everything, I do have a Reptile Breeze, well, not Reptile, Reptile Fogger. Um, these do work great, but not for screen cages. I mean, I have one because when I bought this entire unit, it came with it. So, I mean, if I put a, humidity gauge right where the fog's at, yeah, the humidity is awesome, but throughout the entire cage, um, the humidity sucks. I mean, it does not hold humidity. I seen one video on YouTube where a guy had some garden cloth wrapped around his cage, and he said that it helped with the humidity, but you really couldn't see inside the cage that much. So, I mean, and these guys don't like to be handled that much, and so they're more for like decoration and stuff like that. So, I mean, why have that when, when you can't even see inside the cage? So, but back to the fogger, the reviews on it are mixed, and a lot of people said, oh, my fogger only worked for a month or 2 months and stuff like that. Um, the key thing is you got to take care of it. Clean it out, because if you use tap water, it does build up calcium inside. And so you got to clean that out. I usually clean it out once a month. I've only had him for about 4 months now. And like I said, I clean it once a month. So, and what's awesome too about this fogger is I have it right onto the screen. So it produces water droplets, because these guys do not recognize standing water. They have to drink water off the leaves and everything. So, he, on the other hand, does not drink off the leaves. He climbs right up there to the screen and drinks the water droplets. So, I mean that's cool. So, but when I do get the misting system, um, he is gonna have no choice but to drink off the leaves. So, but I haven't had any issues though with the fogger. So it just boils down to, take care of it, and it should last you. So, so the next thing too, as you can see, there is a lot of foliage. These guys do like the tropical and jungle look, because they are from Madagascar. Uh, so they do like a lot of foliage. They do like a lot of vines and stuff like that. As you can tell, I do have fake plants in here. These guys do like real plants better than fake. So right now I'm in the process of having plants grown. This is a spider plant, and I plan on putting it right here. Oh man, I'm sorry, dude. Chill out. Hey, I'm fine. Go back there. Grumpy. But these guys do like live plants. Make sure you do your research, and know what's not toxic to your chameleon, because they do sometimes eat the leaves. But I do have that spider plant, and then I also have a ficus tree that I am growing, and I need to water it, but I also need to trim it. I'm hoping it'll grow a little bit more so I can turn it into like a bonsai tree. But I'm trying to debate if I want to put this ficus tree in here or wait until I get my other cage for my Jackson chameleons and then put like an umbrella tree in here. So I don't know what I should do yet, but I cannot find any umbrella plants up here in Indiana because it is so cold. And if you do find them up here, they're like really expensive right now. So I'm going to have to wait until the springtime. But I mean, if you don't want to put live plants in, I mean, it's cool to put, fake plants in here. Just make sure that they don't have like any wires or anything. So just in case if your chameleon does eat it or tries to eat it, it won't hurt him. So, but a lot of vines and a lot of branches and everything. The lady had this set up, and I really haven't changed really any because he seems to like it like this. But I mean, it starts from all the way to the top and just diagonally goes down, which is pretty cool. So I do like that. But I mean, if you do get fake vines and plants and stuff like this, you're looking at spending probably maybe over $50 easily. Because like I said, these guys do like a lot of foliage, and um, they just like to hide and everything, and climb around. So I mean, you really want to try to make it look like a jungle in your cage and everything. And then for the bottom, sorry for the mess. I got this grass stuff, and that just makes it look more realistic and everything. And then just in case if he falls, he's not going to fall in this hard plastic down here and everything. So, and I know when I do get a real plant, I'm going to have to, modify this. But I'm going to jump back to, for the water source and everything. When you do have a fogger, make sure, or a misting system, man, chill out, dude. You're gonna fall. Make sure if you don't have a draining system, put a bowl to where your fogger, like right underneath your fogger down below, so it catches most of the water. Because if not, you're gonna have a mess down here, and water's just going to go everywhere and everything because you are dealing with a lot of water. I know, and like I said, I'm sorry for jumping back and forth, but I usually fill that up at least once a day. And sometimes twice a day because I do turn it up, especially like when it does get drier in my house. I do turn the fogger up, so then sometimes I got to fill that up. Twice a day. I do not recommend you put a 2 liter in there because it will overflow like the next day, because I did try that and it did work for a little bit, but then the next day when I filled it up, water just went everywhere. It overflowed and everything. So if you do have one of these, make sure you keep that and just keep an eye on it and make sure it's full so your motor don't burn up. And because those right there cost like $40 to $50. It just depends. Like I said, I recommend not going to your local pet store and buying any of this stuff. Go to like petmountain.com. They have the best prices, but they don't sell everything though. But they have the best prices, and another good website is LLL Reptile. They sell a lot of stuff, but it's just like a few dollars more than petmountain.com. So, but I know when you do have a misting system for these guys, you definitely want a drain system. That is a absolutely must have. And I know that I don't have a misting system. Hopefully this weekend I can go to Menards and buy the stuff that I need for a misting system, and I hope to do a video on that and show you how I did my draining system, because I seen this girl on YouTube that has a draining system, and I think that is the most convenient and easiest way to get rid of the water and everything. Because I've seen some people, have PVC piping, and then they have some corrugation, and it drains into a bucket. Well, that's fine and dandy, but I have kids, and I don't want them getting into the water and stuff like that. So So yeah, I just don't want a big old mess, and that's why I'm also debating. And the reason why I don't have a misting system yet is because there is two different kinds of mist. Well, there's multiple misting systems, but the two best ones that I've found is either the Mist King or the Monsoon, Exotero Monsoon. And the Mist King sells for like the starter one sells for like $120, and the Monsoon one sells for like 70, $80. But the good thing about the Monsoon one is it does have its own reservoir that is covered by the pump and the control panel and everything. And with the Mist King, you have to buy a bucket and do that. Well, like I said, I have kids, and I'm leaning more towards the Monsoon one because it does have a reservoir that comes with it and that is covered. And I just don't want my kids dumping the bucket and everything and making a bigger mess and everything like that. Um, so I'm leaning more towards the Monsoon, and once when I get that, I will upload a video and show you the best way on how to install it and how to make it look good and everything like that. So I will have a video on that uh, in hopefully shortly. I don't know yet. But and another thing too is I wish I would have known this when I got Edgar, my chameleon. Um, the girl had a feeding dish. Um, that's fine and dandy because you really don't want to throw crickets in here or worms and stuff like that because they do die and they will make a mess and everything like that. I mean, like I said, I mean, in my opinion, they're good to have a bucket like this, but it's bad because if you do have something like this, your chameleon will develop. I can't remember what it's called, but it has to do with his tongue that he can't shoot out, you know, the length of his body to get a cricket and everything. With my chameleon, she has fed him like this for so long that he has a hard time trying to get his food with his tongue. And there's been a couple times where, you know, a couple crickets have jumped out and they've been up here and everything. And he's tried to get them with his tongue and he loses his balance. So I know that if you have a feeding dish, that causes that. So if you do get a chameleon, I recommend if you hand feed them so they don't develop that thing with their tongue. Um, But on the other hand, if you don't like bugs or crickets or anything like that, like crickets, worms, roaches, grasshoppers, and stuff like that, then these guys aren't for you because you will have to feed them insects, and that we'll move on to that. Like I said, these guys do eat insects. Sometimes they will eat their plants. But like I said, they like crickets, superworms, mealworms, doobie roaches, grasshoppers, and some chameleons do like pinkies. I do kind of want to get a pinky and just see what he would do. I mean, I think that would be cool as hell. But but yeah, I mean, in the summertime too, when it's warm, you can go out and find insects. You just want to kind of be careful on which insects, because I do know some insects are toxic to these guys. So, because I did find a beetle or a bug or something like that, and I did put it in there, and he did not touch it. So, obviously that was a good thing. So I just flushed him down the toilet. So, but yeah, but when you do get a chameleon, I highly recommend that you breed crickets because it does get very, very expensive to feed these guys. I know up here at PetSmart, it's like $12 for 100 crickets, and my chameleon will eat between 5 to 10 crickets a day. Um, Sometimes he'll eat 5 to 10, but then there'll be other days he won't eat at all. But but yeah, that can get very expensive. So I mean, you're looking at like spending, $12 a week on crickets because not all of them survive. I would say a quarter of them die, but yeah, I do recommend breeding crickets, which I'm in the process of doing right now. Um, you just get a big Tupperware like this. I believe this is a 5-gallon tote. Buy like 100 crickets. Make sure you get more females than males. And then you just want to put a oh man, I lost my train of thought. Some dirt and everything, and then you want to put a screen over this so the male crickets don't eat the eggs. So hopefully, they should be hatching by now. I'm not I'm not quite sure I see any. I don't know. This is my first time doing this, and I think it's a no go on that. So I'm gonna have to do. I know there's not too much research to do. I think just the main thing, you just gotta keep the dirt more moist and everything. And I think I probably had more males this time. So I do recommend you do breeding crickets because it does get very expensive, and you do want the flukers food. That's their water source right there, and then that just gut loads them and everything. Uh, and that's also too on calcium, because these guys do need calcium. So they say dust your crickets and everything. Like I said, everybody has their own opinion on how they do things with their chameleons. I don't dust my crickets. I just feed them the high calcium. So when my crickets do eat the high calcium, and then I also feed my crickets like collard greens, turnip greens are really good, and carrots. Um, that just gut loads them and gives them like extra vitamins and stuff like that. So when my chameleon does eat the crickets and everything, I don't have to sit there and sprinkle that stuff on there. Um, and he's old enough now to where you really don't have to do it. But like I said, everybody has their own opinion on on how they do things. And like I said, do your research on these guys. It took me about 2 months to really look into, getting one. I had one when I was back in middle school, which was probably about 20 years ago. And, I kind of figured out why they died because I didn't even have a fogging system. And my water was in a fountain, which is alright, but you got to be careful when you have fountains because if the chameleon poops and falls in the water, bacteria will grow. So you got to be very careful. And the other thing I didn't have for my first chameleon is I did not have a UVB bulb. So I mean, there was a lot of things I did learn, and I'm still learning to this day. But like I said, go to chameleonforums.com or watch YouTube. I know there's like hundreds of videos that people have put on there on how to, raise a chameleon and, setup wise, and I mean just different stuff, and I've watched, I don't know, hours and hours of videos, and eventually you get to, realizing, okay, this is what I got to do because some of the videos, yeah, different people, but it's the same information, okay? So common sense, okay, if they're saying that's how they do it, and this video saying, they're saying the same thing, then more than likely that's the right way to do it. Um, but I do know, I mean, it's very fun to set this stuff up. Um, I know I really haven't changed much since I got this cage and everything, but I plan on pulling all this out and just redoing it, and I cannot wait until I do that. That's why I'm hoping, I can stumble across a umbrella tree or something like that. But if you don't want to spend a lot of money, because I will tell you right now, for just all this I found on Craigslist, and I mean, it came with the cage, everything that you see here, minus the plants, the real plants, everything that you see here, I got for $100 because the girl had to move out of her place, and the place that she wasn't going to, um, wouldn't allow her to have chameleons or any type of animal. So, I mean, I got an excellent deal on this. I mean, actually, it was a steal because when I was looking prices and everything, and I do have a paper that has the cheapest prices on all the stuff that you absolutely need for to get started and everything, because this stuff right here, it added up to about, and that including the chameleon too, it was over $400 for this stuff. If I would have went and got on petmountain.com and then ordered my chameleons off another website and everything like that, it was going to cost me over $400 to do this. Luckily, I came across a Craigslist ad that this girl was selling it, and she sold everything to for $100. And I also want to say I do recommend not buying a chameleon from your local pet store, because those people there do not know what they are talking about. They're just there to get a paycheck. I do recommend like LL Reptile and Underground Reptile. They have the best selection of chameleons. I know there's other websites out there, but actually Underground is the cheapest, and they do sell all types of breeds of chameleons. So, if you want to check them out for just chameleons, regardless of a chameleon or anything, if you check out any website that sells reptiles, you're going to pay $40 for shipping and handling. That's overnight. So, which isn't bad and everything. I'm kind of looking forward to ordering my 2 Jackson chameleons from a website and, starting this whole process thing over again and hopefully get some babies. And I will say this, if that time does come and I do have babies, I will post a video on YouTube, on here, of course, and hopefully, sell them. I don't know how much I will charge for them, and I will probably check in to see actually how much it costs to ship a reptile or, baby chameleon overnight. And so, and I know it would be a lot cheaper. So, I'm gonna try to think any other information that I need to give out. Like I said, this is just how I do it, and so far it's been successful. So, like I said, just do your research, guys. Just make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, because these are not a beginner pet. These are, pretty, important reptiles, and, you got to take care of them. And, sometimes I see people, putting chameleons in glass, cages and everything. That's not going to work. Your chameleon will not survive. Unless you have a glass cage and you got, a fan blowing in, air, and then one fan blowing out. I mean, it just looks, to me it looks stupid. And I just think these screen cages are awesome because it looks more realistic, and it's cool too. I can open up the cage sometimes, and Edgar, he'll climb, up here and everything, and just, hang out and chill. But another thing too is when you get a veiled chameleon, just try to be careful, because they do, when they get older, get more aggressive. And I would say he's more aggressive than anything. That's why I'm kind of looking forward to getting my Jackson chameleons, because they're more of a, I don't want to say handling chameleon. You can handle them a little bit more than you can a veil. And I want to say also too, like a panther chameleon too. You can handle those guys a little bit more than a veil. But it just seems like the veil chameleons are more protective of of their surroundings, and they don't want to be messed with. So but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it's so long, but I mean, there's just so much information, and just some of the videos on YouTube I've seen, you know, did not go in depth like I am right now, because I mean, I do. I love chameleons, a lot, and I hate to see somebody spend a lot of money, not knowing what they're getting themselves into, and their chameleon dies. But oh shoot, I do have my thing in here. Oh wow, see? Yeah, so it's in the red right now, but I mean let's see if I can, so he don't attack me. But I mean he's perfectly green. I mean he's content. I mean he's cool. Um but I know if my gauge and stuff was over there, it would be like, what would it be, like probably 80, 70 or something like that. But yeah, guys, just make sure you do your research. I mean, um, just know what you're getting yourself into, and like I said, I was kind of scared, to start back up, but you know what? It's been fun and a jolt. Just it's just awesome. I mean, especially when I get to feed them and stuff like that and everything. I mean, these guys are cool. But if you guys do like this video, hit the like button, leave comments, and, just let me know how I did and everything. So, because, I mean, feedback is more than anything. I mean, if you guys see that I'm doing something wrong, let me know. I mean, that I can do something better. Uh, just, just let me know. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys too. The prices for the light bulb, this his basking bulb was like $10 at PetSmart, and I don't know how much the UVB bulb is because I haven't bought one yet. So I need to actually get online and find out a price for that. If anybody knows, just write on the comment. Just let me know on a good price for that. Uh, but I wish I could get him out here. I know he'll probably attack me. Yeah, you guys. Man, he's like a raptor from Jurassic Park or something, man. Like Cujo. But yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, just let me know. Sorry for rambling on, but yeah, just let me know on any new information or anything like that. Just have fun with it, guys. So that's all.